you been? We love Armageddon. And in fact, Anna Muzychuk and Lei Tingjie, well, they better get to love Armageddon because it's happening right now. Moves are flying in fast, and I can't wait to jump in. We've had two players win the Armageddon with black so far, Magnus Carlsen and Hikaru Nakamura. Will Anna Muzychuk be the first one who manages to get it done with white? We're going to figure out as soon as we can what's going on the board. Welcome back with us, everybody. We're excited to be here. Anna, we got it. Here we go.
Very excited. I made it to my seat because I was just taking a bathroom break. But now I'm ready for the Armageddon, and I think soon our chessboard will be ready. It might have taken a longer bathroom break.
It did. I mean, you know, we're probably giving the fans at home a little too much tea. Anyway, all right, David.
Sweating like crazy.
David, throwing to you, and we are sucking down the water because the lights are bright, and you're drinking the water. We've got a lot of. We'll get a water shot at some point. There's a lot of empty water glasses. But all right, David, what do we got on the board? Focus.
First of all, another French defense.
Yes!
Good for you, Anna, but will it be good for this Anna? The question is, who is going to improve first? It was actually Lei Tingjie who made the first, slightly different move, and Anna Muzychuk has to react. So it's the same branch of the French Tarrasch, for those of you who love to study your opening theory, where white brings his knight. Yeah, a lot of central tension. There's a pin, but pressure on the white bishop as well. Okay, is this a good or bad French, Anna? If there's such a good thing, such a thing as a good
I mean,
one.
the French is always good, but
Okay, okay, I couldn't hold back before you even finished that. Oh, okay.
The bishop on c8 is looking sad as usual. I think it's fine in terms of opening choice. We do need to highlight that this is Armageddon, so Anna has more time. She starts with 10 minutes versus 7 minutes of Lei Tingjie. Lei Tingjie has draw odds, so in case of a draw, she wins this game.
And I have to highlight real quick that in the case of a draw, we just had another draw. We will have Prague versus Ali Reza in Armageddon as well.
They've just drawn their classical game.
Yeah, we're going to stay here, the Armageddon that's already underway. But we're going to have another game going to Armageddon. So, bishop e2, David, unlike the other one here, white is maintaining her time advantage, which didn't happen in the other games. So, your thoughts on Lei Tingjie's improvement, right? She played a different move than they had in their classical game. So, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think it's worked to the extent that black is fine. It's a French, and you can't ask for that much more. You've got pieces out. You've traded off a set of minor pieces now, which often helps when you have slightly cramped pawn structure here. That being said, the knight in d4, we talked about it in the previous game. It's there for life, pretty much. It's there to stay. I don't really see any way in the near future that you ever remove it. And white has simple plans of improvement. A rook will come to d1. Maybe at some point we'll see the h pawn push, as we always seem to do these days. Ultimately, balanced position, but one that Anna will be happy with still 2.5 extra minutes on the clock.
Anna, why do people play this position as black?
Because it's not as bad as it seems. There's a semi-open c-file, and black will push f6 in the right moment because you do need to undermine white's center. That's the whole point. You give up space in the center, but then you attack it by pushing c5 and f6. It just needs to be well executed.
I quite like how she's put her knight on c5 and the bishop on d7, though, because knight a4 is often a really annoying idea to keep white honest on the queen side. So, yeah, she still has to think about all sides of the board right now, Anna Muzychuk. And we do see her slowed down slightly.
Yes, out of her 3-minute time advantage, 1 minute is gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. We have seen, actually, the players, apart from maybe that ding against Carlsen encounter, we've seen the players stick to their openings, stick to their guns, and repeat them, the classical game, and then the Armageddon.
Yeah.
This time it feels like Lei Tingjie, she's definitely done her homework in that little break, Danny.
Yep.
And it's only a 10-minute break, but they wanted to switch things up a little bit, not by replacing the French defense. She knows it's the best opening in the world, but just choosing a different variation within the Tarrasch.
Yeah, and maybe she improved, because sometimes the psychology there is Anna spent time on a different opening because she's like, well, she's definitely not going to go back for that because I got the position I wanted, right? I see you both nodding, and Lei Tingjie is like, no. I knew something got away from me there. She did her homework in the 10-15 minutes she had, and she's feeling way more comfy now as black. But still, this is anyone's game. It's only a minute and 15 seconds roughly for white at this time. Remember, white did start out with 10 minutes, as you can see before you. Black had 7.
Yeah, and just to mention on a side note, because you called out the other draw between Prague and Firouzja, Alireza Firouzja has just walked by with his second, Ivan Cheparinov with a laptop under his arm. So those 10 minutes seem to be crucial. They do prepare and at least choose the direction of the opening for the Armageddon in the 10-minute break they have between the Classical and Armageddon.
Speaking of Armageddon, I'm going to throw it. We just had another draw. Humpy Canero did hold that position as black ultimately against Pia Cromling. One of the most exciting.
Potentially an Armageddon. Juvenjun still trying with her extra pawn to squeeze something out of that stone, but it's likely to be an Armageddon. 6 games in the Armageddon. I love it.
And I love this. Pawn to a4. White has locked the structure in her favor. Anna Muzychuk. There's a big hole on the black queen side on b5. And Anna, you got your prediction right. f6 was necessary. You cannot suffer for too long, especially with a lack of space and black's breaking up. f6 here. What do you make of this? She's going to get hanging pawns in the center with her backward pawn on e6 potentially.
Yeah, hanging pawns, but at least more breathing room for the pieces. The bishop on f6 a lot more active than it was before on e7, and also at least there's more dynamic factors now in the position, not that fixed central pawn structure.
Yeah, I agree. It's dynamic. e5 maybe comes at some point here. White can use the b5 square, though, and you have to start looking at it for both pieces. The knight on d4 can potentially go there. The bishop on b5 can potentially go there. But yeah, this is anyone's game. e5 is coming, the e4 square. Okay, the knight ultimately chose to go the more forcing move of the two because it attacks the queen. And Lei Tingjie says, yeah, that's fine. We'll back the lady up.
And she doesn't trade her bishop, the supposedly bad bishop in the French defense. She doesn't trade it for the knight. In other types of position where it would be more closed, I think she would have. But now that the pawn structure has changed so much, she no longer feels the need to get rid of this bishop. It's a lot more active than it's normally in the French defense.
Yeah, it feels like neither player's really found their speed so far. We're now only at move 19, and Anna Muzychuk is about to drop into the second half of her time here, and under 4 minutes for Lei Tingjie as well. It's such a tense position. The critical moments are ahead, Danny. I would just, okay, there we go. Improve a rook. Just get pieces to good squares. The tactics haven't started yet, but it feels like nerves are already playing a factor.
Well, you saw Anna kind of sit up there. Sometimes you do that as a player where you look at the clock and go, oh, okay. You know, you got to like engage body language to be ready because time pressure will be very real. And 1 second added is really just there. Honestly, 1 second is added just to prevent the pure chaos of pieces flying off the board. Like, otherwise, Armageddon is not designed to have increment because it's designed to get us to the most decisive result. But it's really there just so that the players aren't literally throwing wood across the board.
Which we have seen.
Which we have seen.
Many times. But, okay, now it feels like they're upping the pace. They're just improving their pieces. White's queen retreats. I guess she was feeling uncomfortable on the c-file. Black defends her knight now on c5. Really tense here, Anna.
Very tense, and the time advantage. Lei Tingjie has been good at decreasing that gap. Now it's only a 1 minute time advantage for Anna Muzychuk. She started with a 3-minute time advantage because of the Armageddon, but White has to win this game. Draw odds for black.
I like this move, bishop d4. It opens up the idea of bishop g4 coming at some point. Obviously, again, dynamically, we see the eval bar. There's no way accurate play doesn't maintain the balance, but black has to find accurate moves here. Okay, knight e4 right away. It blocks the e-file, lessens the power of bishop g4. But I guess I like how Anna has kind of kept the position closed for now. Like, hasn't really prevented, or sorry, allowed black to open it up.
Yeah, that being said, there's suddenly threats. Bishop takes d4 as a threat, followed by snacking on a pawn on f4. And if Anna has to start playing moves like g3, she might start to worry a bit about the position opening. e5 could be in the air. The white king's not entirely safe.
I'm starting to like this for black more and more. I don't think black is better, but it certainly is a lot more dynamic and a lot sharper than what it was before.
Yeah, but g3 played, I think, correctly so, and white does kind of have a threat, at least a positional threat of kicking the black knight out. If the black knight is kicked, forced to retreat ever, then black's pawns behind it become seriously weak. But time is of the essence. Boarding clock, Danny, is now It's now the time
I'm sorry,
to
I'm
go
so biased toward white in these positions. I feel bad about it, but I actually feel like white is doing fine. And bishop f3 is coming. Okay,
look,
e5
it's
is the
no
right
longer a
move.
French.
E5 is the right move. Open the
It's no
board.
longer a French defense, and you can think of it more
As
objectively, perhaps.
As an isolated queen pawn. I love how you're like leading me to water, right? That trying to teach me, and you're right. Now the position opens up. By the way, there's a sacrifice on g3 coming. Like, watch out. If that happens, the white king is blown open.
That
And remember,
would be big.
black only needs a draw. So if that happens, it's perpetual check. In fact, actually, that's kind of a problem for white.
That is a big problem, so she cannot allow the sacrifice on g3.
Try and trade everything off, but then again, it's the Armageddon format. Trading off bishops, maybe playing a move like queen to d4. If queens disappear, black's actually pretty safe there too. So I don't really see what Anna Muzychuk should be hoping for right now with white. Yeah, bishop takes e5 only allows the black queen to come out, and once the black queen starts finding some active squares, then white might start regressing life. The knight on b5 I'm going to mention as well. Looks pretty, but doing nothing. So Lei Tingjie turning things in her favor. Suddenly clocks have leveled out.
It's level, and it's very complex, with the sacrifice on g3 being a major threat here. What can Anna do about this, Danny?
I don't know. In fact, it's just a few moments ago when you saw me on camera, I leaned in because I was like, actually, the more I look at it, that's why Anna Muzychuk's time advantage has disappeared, because that's actually really hard to stop. The computer can say it's equal, but remember, the computer doesn't know this is Armageddon. If it's a draw, black wins. So she plays bishop g4. This is dynamic and crazy. There are sacrifices on g3 even still. And if the position is simplified, you made a good point. If it becomes all about the king side, David, that knight on b5 is a bit of a pony wandered too far from the farm. If all the action is on the king side, that knight on b5 is it may look pretty, but it's irrelevant to what's going on.
It really is. Key moment now. Do you trade these bishops? Do you invest a minute and a half calculating bishop takes g3 in the hope of forcing a draw instantly? Or do you just trade off pieces and just kind of protect your bishop and say, ultimately, fundamentally, I'm fine. Suddenly, Lei Tingjie, she's gone into the tank here, Anna. Key moment.
She has, and is she calculating a sacrifice or a trade?
Okay, she does trade off that offside white knight. So mixed blessings there, but still very active for black, you've got to say.
Yeah, she took on b5 and then moved the rook out of danger. She moved rook to d8. The time factor is also getting bigger and bigger in this game. As we mentioned, there will be increment from move 41, but it's only a 1 second increment, so this is going to be a bullet game in no time.
Yeah, and bishop f5 is played.
Oh.
It's a spicy move. I don't know what the answer. Oh, it's bishop takes g4, and then knight takes g3 even is a forced draw. Like, even if that's not what the computer says, bishop d4 and knight g3.
Anna Muzychuk has just blundered the tactical patterns here. David, tell us about what's going on.
Yeah, I think there's actually kind of layers to this tactic. We do see the first move, the blue arrow, the best move by black, found by Lei Tingjie. What Anna has missed and is now starting to realize is that after she takes back with the queen, knight takes g3, she thought she could simply take back and get her king to safety in the corner, but black will throw more fuel on the fire and can actually launch some further counter sacrifices there. I think she's just missed.
Counter sacrifice. She missed that her rook on e1 will be hanging.
Yeah.
Oh.
And by the way, it's not even that it's a draw, it's winning, and she goes for it. Lei Tingjie has seen it. She knows it. If white takes it, not only is there perpetual, but the rook takes f5 and queen h3, a brilliant symbol given, deserved for the knight sacrifice that is likely going to be a brilliant way for black to win. Yet again, in Armageddon, black seems to have the advantage.
Anna plays rook e7, threatening checkmate on g7, but it's parried with rook f7, double exclamation mark, because if you take the rook, then there's knight e2, fork, picking up the queen on d4.
Back-to-back brilliant moves by Lei Tingjie, deservedly so. Knight takes g3 was awesome, and rook f7 even awesomer. I'll look it up. I think it's a word of the day tomorrow, awesomer. And again, if you take, that rook needs to guard e2 check, so too many problems, not enough time on a Muzychuk. Black really seems to have the advantage in these games. Maybe it was just the pairings with the dynamics of the players, but we have not seen a player with the white pieces get the job done in Armageddon, and I don't think we're going to see it here.
No, unfortunately for Anna Muzychuk, this is a position where everything is hanging and it's in the worst possible way for white. There is no tactical pattern anymore that would be working for her. Not even a trick that you could try. I think this position is lost. And she is desperately trying to find some kind of a last resource. What would be the least of a damage? So she's giving up her queen.
Which, again, this is just recognizing that you might as well keep playing for a win because you've lost, right? But, I mean, she's aware that this is not ideal. And as you pointed out, Anna, there was really no choice, because if you moved the rook or anything else, the bishop was also hanging in that position.
Everything was hanging.
The house was falling, and short of a crazy blunder, all black even needs is a draw, and Lei Tingjie is going to get more than that.
What a precision by Lei Tingjie, going through those calculations very fast and very confidently. Rook f7 was such a beautiful move after knight takes g3. And obviously Anna is still trying. Black could still go wrong. You know, they're short on time, but it's Anna who is down to 1 second. Actually, she's going to flag.
Ooh, but there we go, the result. Double attack to win the game. The white bishop drops.
Wow.
Great performance, Lei Tingjie. Tactical awareness, just everything.
Yeah, and the French defense, Danny, it was clear that the opening choice made a big impact on this game, right?
Not only that, but I see the light. I can see the potential and why. No, I'm kidding.